Hello, everybody. It's Mark Attwood here, Adventures in the Cosmic Suit, in slightly different circumstances because I'm having some work done in the house, which means there's a lot of noise going on in the studio, which is really just a room at the back of the house, but I'm having it moved around a little bit and a bit of plasterboard and noise going on. Anyway, hope you're well. Enough about me and where I am. I wanted to share with you something just to make sure you guys watching this, make sure that you're signed up to my email list, which is in the description. I'm still getting censored across all platforms. I have got a YouTube channel that's new. There's about 5,000 subscribers there, which is slightly less than the 60,000 got taken away from me. Not that I care about the numbers, but it's about getting the messages out there to as many people as possible. So if you're watching this on YouTube, Mark's Cosmic Adventures is the actual YouTube channel. There's somebody out there copying me with a Mark Attwood official channel. That's not me. So don't go giving them your money and wasting your time commenting because they're earning money out of my content. On YouTube, it's Mark's Cosmic Adventures. On Rumble, they're censoring me as well. The subscription count keeps going up and then getting taken down again. One place where I don't appear to be censored is, apart from Telegram, although I'm not sure about that either, is on Twitter, which is constantly amazes me. But you can see here, this is a video I did on Monday morning. It's currently Wednesday. It's like 85,000 views. I can get a much bigger reach on Twitter. And if you want to follow me on Twitter, it's twitter.com/Mark Attwood, capital M, capital A. There are imitators there as well. I don't know why people keep wanting to imitate me. I'm not that bloody good. But they are scamming people. And it's the same as on the Telegram channel. There are people imitating me. I know that some of the people on the Telegram channel are getting annoyed by us asking you to add a username, but please, it's the only way. It's one of the only ways of us stopping the scammers. I never sell crypto. Okay. I run a crypto course with Gary Keeley. The link's below this. You can join that. That's what's teaching you how to do crypto. It's not us selling you crypto. So please do not ever buy crypto off somebody pretending to be me. I've known a couple of people that's happened to. That's not what we're about at all. Please don't fall for it. And just check the tone of voice out. You can usually tell on Twitter, you can tell it's not me because they put Mark Attwood with 2 Ds or 3 Os or 3, look at the usernames because that's how they're doing it. And I please don't want anybody to be scammed by somebody pretending to be me because it isn't me. As you well know, I am a big fan of us. A big fan, sounds like it's the wrong terminology. I am very interested in healing, all of us healing, because that's what part of all of this time is all about. And often you will see me with this on my wrist, which is the Mirrormate blood cleansing. I call it I like wearing this out because people go, oh my God, that's a big digital watch. It's not a watch, it's cleaning my blood. And they go, really? How does it do that? And then I start telling them. I have a few other things here, like this PEMF. I've got loads of things here. But why don't we talk to the guy that invented them all or created them all? I don't know. What's the word, John?
I'm not sure. It's too late in the evening. Or just designed. Yeah, designed and made. Yeah.
Design. Yeah. So I'm just going to explain to the viewers that haven't seen you on my show before. John White is somebody that I've followed for years. It may be 15 years. I don't know. Because initially I was very interested. When I found out about the Rife machine and scalar waves, I found this website about the Spooky 2, which was building. I think the brief was, and correct me if I'm wrong, John, the brief was to allow people to build a Rife machine with parts from Tandy. That's what I remember. Is that right?
From the very beginnings, we wanted to empower people. So before we could set up any sort of production facility, we were giving instructions and people how to make their own. That's right. They could buy their own generator and make their own remote unit. And yeah, those are the very, very pioneering years long ago.
Well, I remember following that. I'm not like you. I'm not very good with soldering irons and putting things together like that. It's not that I probably would be good if I put the time into it, but I'm too impatient. I'm a rooster. I'm an Aries. I'm blah, blah, blah. And but I do remember having a conversation in Marrakesh in about 2014 with a guy that ran a health cafe, healthy cafe there, and he would. Both of us we were gonna buy the parts and try to put it together, and then and then I found you, and I was like, oh, he's actually making them now. And then we did a couple of shows talking about the Spooky 2. which is in my other room, and I'm installing it in my healing clinic. If you guys watching this don't know about my healing clinic, it's at live5dhealth.com. You can find out about it there, and there's franchise opportunities there and all sorts. But we're going to put the scalar machine in there as people are in the hyperbaric oxygen, see what that does, because that's got to be a good thing, hasn't it?
Absolutely. That's a terrific idea, and exciting too. It's really cool to think that you're going to spread this ability to heal to so many other people.
Well, that's what it's all about, isn't it? That's what you're about, and that's why
how it all started.
Yeah. So, and also, you know, this is on my wrist. I think in the last year, this has been on my wrist about 200 times, which is pretty high. That's a high engagement for me. and there's a reason, because it when I don't wear it, I can feel the fact that I haven't. After a couple of days, I can feel the fact that I haven't worn it.
Absolutely.
I mean, do you want to explain what it does for everybody? Because you're the guy.
It's our MirrorMate cold laser wrist. It's it's like an oversized watch, as you can see. It's got a battery and electronics that power cold lasers into your arteries. So I think it's a 20-minute duration. I think I programmed it for.
Well, I do it for 60.
Really? You go for the big one?
Yeah, I do, yeah.
Your blood passes underneath the unit, and it kills the pathogens that may be in your blood, and it gives the cells in your blood more energy as well, the mitochondria in your corpuscles. It's actually really, I mean, I'm mumbling here, but it's really amazing and exciting if you do live blood analysis and you do it before and after. I don't know whether you've done this, Mark, but in our prototype units, we of course we tested on ourselves, and I've always thought of myself as being very fit, you know. I've always got a ton of energy, but I did it before the finger prick, and the blood cells, they were spiky, which you read in medical literature as meaning that you're dehydrated. Well, I pricked my finger after wearing that for 30 minutes, and my blood was no longer spiky. It looked textbook, round, smooth, with a dimple in the center for the red blood cells. And if it's dehydration, I didn't drink any water between the time before and after. All I did was sit on my bottom and wear the oil unit for, I think it was 20 minutes. And it was just really profound, the difference. It was startling. And I thought, well, I know what kind of blood I want to have flowing through me. And then I started wearing this prototype for a few days. And I kind of felt a bit of a difference, but I really felt a big difference when I stopped using it.
Yeah.
That's when you sort of take a step down and think, oh gosh, was this the normal before? And you can feel it then. So then it becomes a regular thing. And you know what you're doing is maintaining the greater state of health. And it's just something so simple. Really just strap it on your wrist and turn it on.
I know, that's what I like about it. That's what I like about it, because it's not a big faff. It's just like sit at the desk, put it on, press the button. And I mean, that's what I love. Yeah. But that's interesting you say that, because people don't, when you feel good, you forget about what it was like. You know, people don't remember pain. They don't remember they remember when they were in bed and suffering with something, but when they've got past it, they can't actually remember how bad it felt. They just remember it was not good. Yeah. And that's what I felt with this. If I forget to wear it for a few days, I'm like, and the only reason I ever forget it is because I've been traveling and I've put it in a bag somewhere and I've forgotten to put it on my desk.
Oh no. Yeah.
But it's an amazing thing. But I did actually have a live blood analysis in my kitchen. Great. I had a chap called Harry Rhodes here who I don't know if you've heard of him, but you'd get on really well with him.
Yeah, I think I know the name. Okay.
Yeah, well, Harry came here and he did a talk in Ireland for us to launch our healing center, and he's got a vortex device that makes water go via copper and shungite pyramids and magnets and recreates structured water. And so I've been drinking that with Celtic sea salt. I've been wearing this. Yes. I mean, the different. He did a live blood analysis in our kitchen, and I had my daughter there with a bunch of her friends. And my blood was like you described, like beautiful, ping, 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 looked lovely, right?
Yeah.
And my 17-year-old daughter and her friends, about 5 of them, they all did the same thing, and all their blood was like, it was like the blood cells were kind of hiding in a corner going like that. And I was like, oh my God, my blood's better than my kids.
Well, you're doing the right things, aren't you? Children quite often don't.
Well, it's really hard to get them to get into, because you can tell them until you're blue in the face, but then they go behind your back and they do things, and they're all subject to all my kids have got the EMF protection on their phones. They come into the healing center not often, and not because the other thing is they're teenagers and they've got all this energy anyway. Yes. Although they do seem to sleep a lot more than I did when I was their age. I don't know what.
Okay. Oh, interesting.
I don't know what that's down to. Because I've always had more energy than most people anyway. But now I've got, there's a hill near here that I used to, 3 years ago, I'd have to stop halfway up to catch my breath. I literally run up it and down it now, which is brilliant.
Yeah.
And it's in no small, and I've got to tell you something else. So this is one of your PEMF machines that goes on the bed.
Yes.
I call it a machine. I'll just get it out for everybody.
Okay.
I had a really bad hip issue about 4 months ago, like agony.
Wow.
And this was fundamental in my recovery. And this is, I can't remember what you call this one, but
this is our big magic.
Yeah, and it's this one, and I put it under my sheet on my bed, and I had it under my hip.
Yes,
it was amazing how fast I recovered. So thank you.
You're welcome. That's got a bigger brother now.
Well, that's what you were telling me, and because we want to get the PEMF, the best one we can get in the healing center as well, because I've experienced. Because the other thing with the PEMF is, do people use just explain what PEMF is, and do people use it when they're not in agony? Because that's I didn't use it until I actually was in pain.
Yes, yes and no. Well, pulsed EMF stands for pulsed electromagnetic field. It's where you have a coil near your body. It can be in the form of a mat or a paddle or something, and these magnetic fields are pulsed through your body, and they induce a current in your cells that does the healing. You've asked me, can you use it, or is it wise to use it if you're well? Yes, because it helps to maintain health. It can help with more serious things happening further down the track. So it's like a preventative thing. But actually, the bigger brother to this unit that you've got now is better for using it if you're healthy, because it's so much more flexible. It can be more gentle. It can be stronger. The unit that you have, it's only sending pulses. There's no control over the strength of the pulses. Imagine if I was talking to you and the sound waves from my voice was just pulses. It'll be impossible to really understand me. And this new unit uses the sound as it originally is and converts the audio to magnetic fields. So yes, you can still send pulses to your body using this new unit, which is quite the pulses are pretty basic, or you can send significantly more advanced analog waves to your body. And that's what this is, an analog pulse EMF.
Okay.
Yeah.
Well, you've got a presentation, haven't you?
Yeah.
Let's get that up.
Should I start it up? I'll see if I can.
Yeah, you need to share it again because it's not in the studio.
Yeah, we've had a bit of a glitch, okay.
Oops. Yeah, I've got it now. Here it is.
Okay, so can you see this? I've lost.
Yeah. Okay. Superior analog PEMF for more effective natural therapy. So
right.
What's the reason for producing this, firstly, John?
Because we were limited by regular pulsed EMF. We were limited to the types of things that you could apply pulsed EMF for. Pulsed EMF is used for entrainment, but it's done in a very primitive way, which can, I guess, it doesn't directly hit the target, if you like. It's all that people had to work with. So yeah, digital was the way that was done. Analog is more difficult because it's harder to control by analog means, high powers. If it's digital, it's either on or off. So it's either high voltage, low current, or low voltage, high current across the output stage. And power is voltage times current. So digital means it's more efficient, less wasteful, if you like. But the MirrorMate Magic Pro combines the efficiency of digital with the precision of analog.
This sounds a bit like Tesla versus Edison.
Yeah. Tesla was AC, Edison was DC. Edison lost out. It's not anything versus anything. I mean, pulsed EMF does have its, it's a great device to use, and you're, yourself with your hip injury, how well it works. This is just the next level, Mark. This is where we've taken it, or several stages up. I don't know of any other supplier that does a true analog pulsed EMF. There's one that promotes their unit as analog, but when you read it closely, you find it's actually digital, but can be controlled in like a volume control, and it uses a spark to create the frequencies, which is kind of crazy because it's uncontrolled. It's just terrible.
Oh, so this is the only one of its kind?
I believe so.
Well, if you say that, then I believe you.
Well, I haven't found anything else on the market which is a true analog pulsed EMF.
Okay, this is
fascinating. Of course, I do a search. I mean, I may be proven wrong, but it doesn't matter. If there is, then I know that ours will be the best. it's so. I mean, I've got no ego. It doesn't worry me. But I know that this unit here is brilliant for. I'll show you more of what it's capable of, and then I'll. Okay, so here we're just talking about general pulsed EMF. It's a safe and natural way to recharge your body. And when you used it with your hips, it's allowing your body has a healing mechanism. You've recharged your healing mechanism so that it can heal itself much faster. It may be up to 400% faster than before. So if you recover in a week, you would have been out of service for a month if you hadn't applied pulsed EMF. That kind of thing. And we're talking about the energy levels of cells and what it can mean. If you're healthy, you're fully charged, and that's the wattage that you have. Diminished energy. See, chronic diseases start at 40 milliwatts. I don't know why they say watts. It's actually volts. That one passed my attention. And if your cells, it's actually minus 40 millivolts as well. And if your cellular voltage, the potential across your cells drops to negative 20 millivolts or less, then you're very likely to be, the cell is likely to be cancerous.
So what we're looking at here, it should say millivolts, not milliwatts.
Yeah.
And that should be minus 40 millivolts for chronic illness. Is that right?
That's right.
And how is there a way of somebody measuring these millivolts?
Well, they are not for someone. Laboratories do with their pico needles to go across a cell and measure the potential. No, there's not. If you measure the potential across your body, which is across a huge number of cells, because the cells aren't orientated all in the same direction, you won't get like thousands of volts across your body. So no, there's no way that a normal person. I mean, there's no with the weapons that we have in the home, like a multimeter and stuff. There's no way you can measure the cellular potential. No, not directly.
So how does? Well, I mean, you're saying here that aging, stress, poor diet, and the environment reduces the voltage, which makes complete sense to me. So this is a way of preventing that happening or helping that alleviate that.
That's right. The pulsed EMF signals, because the signals are a changing magnetic field through a conductor, the conductor being the cell induces a current. And the current flow helps the mitochondria with its functioning. It raises the potential across the cell. It's like the generators, the old-fashioned generator for the lights of a push bike, where you click onto a wheel and it starts spinning. Yeah. Well, that uses a magnet, which is fixed, and the conductor, which spins around. Again, the conductor is passing through a changing magnetic field, same as pulsed EMF. And that voltage is used to light the lamp on the bike.
Well, I've not seen one of those for years.
No, I haven't seen. I mean, we're showing our age here, but boy, they used to take a lot of energy from the riding, didn't they? You know,
yeah. They were heavy as well. I had one on my bike. Heavy, but they were
yeah, the worst things ever invented. But I mean, lights weren't LED back then, so they needed a lot of energy to light up a tungsten filament lamp. But there we have it. So this is the same thing. Our bodies are conductors, and the moving magnetic field create the voltage and therefore the current. And with this increased voltage, it helps the cell stops the cell from becoming cancerous or likely to be cancerous. Okay, now we just.
By the way, do you know what I call NASA?
I'd be interested. I'm a bit scared to ask, but okay. What do you call NASA?
Never a space agency.
Well, they're very good in their studio, weren't they? You know.
They were very good. Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, anyway, they do some interesting. They do push out some interesting science, though. So I'll let you explain this.
Yeah. Well, I mean, these people that are in the studios, which are supposed to be going out into space, they realized that there weren't many doctors out in other planets, so they had to look after themselves, or while they locked the doors in the studio, as the case may be. So they, parallel to developing their space rockets and spacesuits with shiny glass, so you don't see the person's face. They also now pulsed EMF was around, but they refined it. And they found that with the improved pulse patterns, they could improve the regrowth of the neural tissue between 250% to 400%. So that's a real deal. They found also that bone repair, if you break your bones, if you then place this broken bone near a pulsed EMF signal, the bone heals amazingly fast. Not just that, but the bone, they broke, can you believe it? They broke deliberately the bones of a laboratory animal. I mean, laboratory animals to scientists is just, they're like lumps of meat for experiments. So I want to stress, we did not do this. And they separated the bone, not just on one, but several. And they had the control group, which they just hoped the bones would sort of match together again. And the other ones they placed over a pulsed EMF signal. And the ones that were on the signal, they repaired, and the others didn't. The bones just stubbed off and never were going to heal. Yeah, quite sad, really. But anyway, the findings was that it improved the bone repair a huge amount. So if any members of the family breaks their bone, which included me when I broke my ribs 2 months ago, I broke 2 ribs and did damage to my shoulder as well. Of course, I use pulsed EMF, and of course, I come bouncing back. So yeah, it is more than just a science on paper. It's got a very practical, if you can find a pulsed EMF device, it is a good way of fixing.
Well, did you use this particular device when you broke your ribs?
I used the Big Magic.
The one that I've got here?
Yeah. Yeah.
Well, how long did you spend on it? Because I was sleeping on it all night. Is that? Yeah.
No, I didn't sleep on it. I wasn't very mobile, but I had times over it, like about an hour or so. An hour a day, I guess it'll be. I should have slept on it, but for 2 days I was, it would hurt to laugh. I mean, there wasn't much to laugh about.
Well, it's a good job you didn't come on my show then.
But after a couple of days, I was actually really good. I was really good. I was up and around, and people was telling me, "No, lie down. You've got broken ribs." Yeah, but I feel fine. They say, I live in China. There's a saying in China: you break your ribs, you've got to lie in bed for 100 days. Well, I'm not going to lie in bed for 100 days. I'm not going to lie in bed for any more than I have to. I mean, you get your muscles wasting away and all sorts if you start nancing around like that. And I'm not like that. So I was up and around on day 2. I looked pretty ugly. My face got smacked up as well. I had I headbutted a concrete barrier, and
you want to try not doing that.
But also my face, sort of the swelling went away pretty quickly. Everything, the whole body, even though the mat wasn't underneath my face, the whole body gets recharged. I guess maybe it would have helped my blood, because my blood certainly would have been exposed to the pulse TMF, and then my blood will be going through the bruised area, and it's better able to take all the toxins away. My face on one side was really blue, and it turned yellow quite quickly, and then just disappeared. So it's now the only reminder I have of the accident is just my shoulder, where it's still a little bit sore, but I haven't. It's just really laziness on my side. I should really put the mat under my shoulder and redo that. So maybe tonight I'll do it. Having said it,
well, you're in good condition anyway. That's probably why. But I found it very, very useful. But this is interesting because you're showing about the FDA approvals here over the last years.
Yeah. Now most things that FDA approved don't work, but or work to a limited extent. But pulse TMF really does have a fantastic ability to heal the body or improve the body's natural system of healing. And yes, back in 79, bones, first of all, non-union fractures, bones which are broken and parted. And then we're getting to soft tissue in 98. It's a long time between 79 and 98. But that's the way it is, for incontinence and muscle stimulation. So it does soft tissue as well. Then cervical fusion, depression and anxiety. Now, depression and anxiety is very interesting because a lot of people don't associate pulse TMF with moods.
Well, I was going to say that's the only thing on this list that's kind of like non-physical, or appears to be non-physical.
Yeah. Well, I mean, when you're being subjected to pulse TMF, you do have natural endorphins released by the brain, and that could be part of it. I always feel great actually after being on the mat, even for just half an hour. I feel, I bounce back onto my feet and I'm off. It's got a tremendous, and for sleep as well, but not so much sleep for most pulse TMF, certainly for this new one, but we'll get into that in a moment. But depression and anxiety and the brain cancer too.
Well, anxiety, I've noticed anxiety going through the roof recently, just anecdotally from comments on videos and social media. So this PEMF is a good thing to have in your arsenal.
It is. Yeah, I've seen that too. I can't really explain it. Why? I guess, I mean, we've just gone through a crazy 3 years now, is it?
Yeah, I think, it's a kind of hangover from that, but also there's
other
things going on. I mean, yesterday there was a thing in Ireland showing, there was a Polish woman on Twitter showing that the air pressure here was the lowest it's been for like 50 years. It was something like 950 millibars. which is like, and the standard atmospheric pressure for pilots is 1013.25. So that's a considerable drop, and that's causing people to get all sorts of issues with their sinuses and stuff like that. But and obviously that is literally a depression in terms of pressure, which has an effect on everything.
Absolutely. Oh, that's new to me. Maybe that's what it is, but I don't think the pressure's down here. But yeah, I've seen that, and just the general mood of people. Yeah.
Well, I don't know. Everybody I meet is smiling because I'm smiling at them. But yeah, I mean, but it is it's a big global issue after all this stress that everybody's been under, and you know, so yeah.
Well, the pandemic's been, was from a virulent pathogen. Well, smiling is also virulent. It goes a long way, and people catch it. Yeah. And brain cancer is a hard thing to address. Sorry, I've just gone to the last one, because it's got bone tissue, and bones don't conduct electricity. So you can't put electrodes there and expect much to go through the grey matter if it's electrodes. But magnetic fields just pass through easily. And the brain is an electric organ. And pulse EMF has done wonderful things for people that have got different forms of brain cancers.
Interesting.
Okay, now this is the main event, Magic Pro. That's the unit we're talking about. Now, it does dual channel analog pulse EMF. Now, analog means, yes, it can do pulses, but it can also do gentle slopes. It can do sound. You can play music even with it using a Bluetooth connection from your phone.
Okay. So you can play music with it?
Yeah, analog. It's analog. So analog is like more natural to our whole body. Our body is analog.
I get that. Yeah.
There's not one part of your body that's digital.
So you could take binaural beats, it says here, to healing analog PEMF.
Yeah, and binaural beats is a very clever way of applying low frequencies, creating low frequencies using a combination of two higher frequencies. It's easy to induce a current in cells using high frequencies, but a lot of frequencies, like the entrainment frequencies which, let's say, help you sleep, are down below 10 hertz. And so it's hard to induce a strong field at 10 hertz. So then you use binaural beat audio. And of course, we've got them as well. We've created a lot of audio tracks.
Oh, you have?
Yeah. We didn't want to put the cart before the horse. So
wow.
We made the horse first, and then we
Well, no, I've been using binaural beats for, I don't know, on and off for 10 years. I didn't know before this show, because I haven't actually looked at this product yet, that you could put that through this and use that for healing. Yes. That's amazing.
Well, it's when you think about it, it's natural. We've got two ears, so it's it's nothing new to hear things in stereo. This mat is like a stereo mat. It's got a pair of circuits through it, and so I can send binaural beats, pure binaural beats, without any magic, in the magnetic form. Wow. And the magnetic field passes through your cells. The cells get their voltage induced across it, and the current passes through. It's all the good things about digital pulse EMF, plus much more.
Well, you blow my socks off as usual.
So this is it in use. The here you can see the model choosing a program on their phone and running it. Now, you say you've been using binaural beats for 10 years. So you'll have a collection, perhaps, of binaural beats on your phone. Is that right?
Well, I've got them all. I don't actually. I'm not that organized, but yes, I do. I've bought a lot of them.
Well,
Yeah.
well, you can play your same. You don't even have to use our audio. You can use the ones that you already have,
Amazing.
and play them directly to the unit. On the right here, you can see the field, the way that the field sort of gets sent to your body. Here you can see the field going up and down with the coils there, the magical coils. And here you can see the unit, the main unit that does the conversion from Bluetooth to sending the signals to the mat.
And the Bluetooth doesn't interfere with any of this?
No, it doesn't. No.
Amazing.
Magic.
Amazing. That's why you call it
the mat. Yeah, the mat is capable of 200 watts. So it's reasonable power, you know. The unit that you have, the Big Magic, that's probably around 2 watts.
What?
But it does it in pulses, Mark, so we haven't shortchanged you. Each burst is much higher than 2 watts, but on average it's about around 2 watts.
Wow.
This is 200 watts continuous.
Whoa.
So it's a very different kind of thing.
Yeah, yeah.
Different audio that you can apply. You can apply sacred sutras. You can apply any chants. You can apply your favorite music. You won't hear it unless you use we've got a coil tester, which is an audio unit. You place it on the coil and you listen using your headphones.
What if I wanted
that the fields.
What if I wanted to put a frequency in, like, I mean, the frequency of love is 432 hertz, right?
Yeah.
Is it 432 or 532? I can't remember. But if I put in something like that, would that?
You'd fall in love. Yeah, of course.
Have you tested stuff like that, frequencies?
You mean, have I fallen in love? No, I don't want to fall into love now because I'm happily married. So I don't want to. I'd have to test that particular frequency on someone else. But what I've done, but you know, it's interesting. There's a very interesting point that you actually inadvertently introduced here, because people may have their favorite frequency. They know this really is in sync with their body, or a certain music. And I've got some music that really, for me, is like really good. And I have played the audio while lying on this mat, and wow, this tingling feeling on my spine that I get. It's like, wow, you know, this is really amazing. And actually, since releasing this unit, I've stumbled upon like micro sounds where it's people recording opening up a box. And you know how sometimes a sound is very, very quiet, but it just has that effect. It's called MR. I don't know the other MR something.
As long as it's not MRI, we're good.
No, it's not MRI. But it can play those tracks as well. Anything that's audio, that's healing, and is, you know, and it's great for your body. You can play with this mat, with this unit.
Can I ask you a question?
Yeah, sure.
I think the 432 frequency that was in my head is actually because of the change in frequency of music in 1953. Have you heard about that?
Yes, I have.
So it was 432 changed to 440.
440, yes.
Which as far as I understand it, is kind of a deliberate way of putting us out of tune, literally putting humans out of tune. What would you say to inputting music that was at that out of tune frequency into this machine?
Well, then I know both sides of the argument. For me, I wouldn't use the 440. I'd use the 432. If you do want to use the 440, then I don't know. Maybe it works for some people. The thing is, Mark, everyone is different. I don't think there's a standard human anywhere. There might be an average, but when you think about it, average number of children, 2.5. There's no 2.5 children. There's no
I don't
half
know.
child anywhere.
One of my kids is quite short. They used to call me half when I was a kid.
Like I'd listen to a song, for example, which I'd love, like it might be Sympathy for the Devil or something, and then I love it, and then I play it to someone else and they hate it. And for me, like, I mean, wow, this is really, really touching music, and they can't get away fast enough. So it's the same with the treatments, If something works for you, that's fantastic, and I do truly hope, Mark, that the love you find love soon, but if it works for you, then that's the one to use, and no one's to say that it's wrong. I don't.
And you can experiment with yourself and with all these different.
Absolutely. But my personal view is I'm in alignment with you. They changed it to kind of put everyone's health out of kilter, and the time frame was rather suspicious too when it was done. So yeah.
What was just explain why that is?
Because, well, I'm not sure where this video is going, but the medical establishment wants everyone sick so that they can be controlled. They can, be hooked into maintaining drugs which maintain their illness rather than alleviating the sickness. And it was around when this was starting and getting really locked in, when this musical scale was changed.
Yeah, that's what I'm alluding to. So yeah, we're on the same page with that.
Yeah,
which is why you ended up building the Spooky 2 and all these wonderful machines, and why I found you.
Yeah. Well, I mean, we want to give people back what they had. Like 100 years ago, if you were sick, you had a whole smorgasbord of different people you could go to. You could go to a herbalist or a homeopathic person, and they were registered and everything, but they sort of stopped all them or controlled them, and have only one of the systems going. And unfortunately, the one that's going is not the right one for most cases.
Totally agree. And I actually read about a hospital in China recently where people go in and they get sung to by other people. And people, there was a story of somebody walking in with terminal cancer, walking out 15 minutes later cured.
Yes, absolutely. That's right.
Singing.
Yeah. And I'll tell you a little story. It's totally unrelated to Pulse PEMF, but I'm sure, well, it's not a long one. This person had a tumor. They were observing this tumor in was it MRI or ultrasound? Ultrasound, I think, because it was about 15 years ago. And there were 5 or 6 monks around them chanting. And the tumor just disappeared until it was no longer visible. It was that fast. I spoke to one of those monks. Those monks live in a mountain, in a cave. They have a little community, but there's no. I cannot tell you where it is, and I can't tell you anything more. But they have released that video, and they were going. I last spoke to him about 2 or 3 years ago. Actually, it was before this pandemic. Maybe it was 4 years ago. And they were going. They had done it. They had done more, and they were going to release videos. Maybe they have, and maybe it's been already removed. But these people proved that just it was a combination. He explained it to me. It's the intent, the focus, and the audio. And if you play back the audio and analyze it, even though each monk was humming the same note, the waves of the note were coherent for all those monks. In other words, each note, the waveform up on one monk was the same as the others in the room.
Amazing.
So it's like a laser, laser light. That's coherent as well. But it's
Well,
true, and I've
yeah.
sorry.
Sorry, I've been saying we are the med beds. There's the proof of it. But
Yeah.
we've had so much of the knowledge taken away that devices are kind of like bridging our way back to nature, aren't they?
They are. It's just sad that there's a lot of people out there. It's fortunate that people that are on your channel know that there are ways around the restrictions and ways that you can once again become empowered. But not enough people know.
Hmm.
Not
Well,
enough.
that's why we keep doing these shows.
Okay, so the benefits. It improves sleep, reduces pain, emotional struggles. That's another thing that you mentioned before, is something you don't naturally associate with pulsed EMF. But when you consider that your brain is electric, and now you've got a way of sending brain waves, not just the frequencies, but the brain waves themselves to your brain, then your body just melts into the. if you send the brain waves for sleep, the frequencies that sit down, 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 you find yourself melting into the mat, and then you just lose consciousness. And the
That's
one that pulsed EMF in general is good for is restoring health and vitality.
and so you just melt into the bed because you've got the same frequencies going on, or the frequencies that your brain's craving.
Yeah, this is entrainment, where your brain electrical activity becomes lockstep with the signal from the mat. If the signal is identical to your brain, then it becomes entrained. It might be just a little bit out, but then it locks in. So the mat program, which you start at maybe at about 9.3 or maybe 10 point something hertz, and then it slowly goes down, down, down until I can't remember what happened, but I woke up this morning. Yeah, it's really, really good that way. With the other mat, all other pulsed EMF units that I know of, because they send the signals in spikes, it's more difficult to sleep on.
Yeah.
In particular, the higher power units. The brain is very sensitive, and it's getting a spike, tick, 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 and it doesn't really know what to make sense of it, how to make sense of it. This unit here is just as pure as you and I are talking now.
Yeah, I get it.
The brainwave isn't spikes. The brainwave is a sinusoidal or a lumpy sinusoidal if it's got harmonics. And this mat can reproduce it perfectly.
Wow. Can I ask you a question?
Absolutely.
So I use a grounding sheet on my bed.
Yes.
You familiar with those?
Yes, I am.
If I put this mat underneath the grounding sheet, would that affect it in any way?
Probably, because the grounding sheet is conductive. And so what it would do, past the sheet, it would absorb, the sheet would short out the magnetic pulsing.
So don't mix the
And,
two.
well, I mean, I'd be inclined not to for that reason.
Okay.
Also,
So I
because this
think
unit...
I've been recommending grounding sheets for 3 years, and there's a lot of my viewers that probably have them on their bed. So that's why I wanted to bring that up, because
Yes, yeah. That's a
it's
good
interesting.
question. And
Yeah.
grounding sheets are really good. Very, very, very good, especially if you don't touch terra firma for a long time, which most people don't because it's concrete and high rises and stuff.
Plastic shoes and blah blah blah. I know.
Yeah, yeah. Yeah, another thing is this unit is quite powerful. If if you want it really powerful, you just turn the volume up on your phone. It's that it's volume control because it's analog. If you have the volume very high and it's a loud audio that you're playing, maybe the grounding mat will get warm because it will have lots of eddy currents passing through it due to the short circuiting of the
Well, just
magnetic
keep it.
field.
Don't use a grounding mat at the same time as this, and then life is easy. Okay.
Yeah.
Cool.
Okay. We
are part of a great universe made from countless particles. An energy which flows through all things, connecting us with the universe. Sometimes you may feel pain, feel low, have difficulty falling asleep. Your immune system may become weak. When the energy in your body is temporarily out of balance. Magic Pro, the world's best audio PEMF device, can help restore energy balance. Magic Pro uses analog PEMF technology to provide you with a more natural pulsed electromagnetic field. It can charge your entire body with natural energy using a specially designed mat. Advanced analog PEMF can transform sound into healing energy, forming waves of therapeutic fields, reaching up like the fountain of youth, rejuvenating and repairing every one of your imbalanced cells. Your natural cellular balance returns, and your health blossoms once again. Magic Pro has a foldable mat, which is soft, air permeable, and skin friendly. The mat is full size, so you can enjoy deep, whole body cellular repair. Magic Pro has been designed for simple operation. Choose the best programs from our comprehensive frequency database. One button turns Magic Pro on, starting your journey of re-establishing energy equilibrium. Improve sleep, reduce pain, overcome emotional struggle, and restore good health and vitality. The natural healing energy of Magic Pro comes from heaven and earth, from flowers and trees, and the harmony of music. Magic Pro, natural healing.
and now we should add add a part at the end saying, and we are the only pulse EMF device that can transmit the love frequency.
Well, yeah. I mean, this is. I want to play one of my poems for it.
Okay,
see what happens.
We've had, yeah. Okay, and these are a couple of people that have tried Magic Pro. Yeah, and it's just people that let's see, the first one, yeah, you don't hear any audio, but you yeah, it's an old injury. The second person, they had an injury that it was been with them for a long time, and it was their right ankle, and 40 years. They sprained it again, and the drama was great, but just lying on Magic Pro resolved their problem, made it so that they could put weight on their ankle again.
Wow.
So yeah, that's the unit. It's the unit and the mat. It is a cool unit. Okay, I'll stop the share. How do I stop share? I don't know. Nope. I don't know how to stop share actually.
Oh no, I'll sort that out. I was just actually
okay.
looking. Yeah, I was just looking at something while you were doing that. Yeah, there's a link below this video if you're interested in this product. Just go and click that link, and that helps support the show. And I know I've known John for a while now, and I promise you, the stuff he makes is not. It's not like Microsoft. It's maximum profits. This is like to get stuff out because he's genuinely interested in healing people with this kind of technology, which is fantastic. What else is in the pipeline? Anything you can talk about?
Nope. what we find, there's
always something going on with you.
Yeah, oh, absolutely. But with the more goodies that we release or about to release, more and more people, companies are against us. And so if I tell you what we do, I'd love to tell you.
Yeah.
But it's just more cannon fodder for them.
Yeah.
We've had a case where we were reported, so it just made it harder for us to get certification. Yeah.
John, when I opened the healing center here, I had people on Twitter saying I was a white supremacist, fascist, blah blah blah.
How do they know?
To heal people with oxygen.
Yeah. Oh yeah. Well, that's the world we live in, but it's not pretty, is it?
No, it's not. It's a struggle.
But in most of our cases, it's because they feel that we're in their, in their market, encroaching on their and their profits. But if you can, look at the prices of pulse EMF devices, it's crazy.
Well, I was going to ask you because we are looking at getting one in our healing center and in the franchises, right? And the one I'm looking at I have been looking at is not far off 10,000 quid.
Yeah. And I bet it's not even analog,
Well, no, this is the thing. I didn't even know that you could get an analog until the show started.
Yeah, it's just crazy. But this again the world we live in, where everything is money. When we develop products, we don't think about the money. We make the best we can, and then we sell it at a smidgen of a profit, and then that profit finds its way back into freeing animals or supporting hospitals or doing something, and it's great, that's just that's it. I don't need anything. I've got my bicycle. I've been in my lifetime. I've been racing very fast motorcycles, and I fall off a push bike.
Irony.
But it was a new bike, and the brakes were reversed, where the right hand was for the back brakes and vice versa. What had happened was I went into this intersection. A person gave way to me, and I waved at them. I put a bit of a brake on the left road, which is safe, and it looked. The wheel looked up at the front, and then I went over. And I was doing about 40 k's at the time, so it's going quite.
That is quite quick. Well, you're looking at it. I mean, this is. I did fixed wing flying in the RAF, and then I did some.
Wow.
I did some helicopter training about 15 years ago, and this guy came in and showed us these pictures of all these helicopter crashes, which were horrific, because when a helicopter engine stops, it just falls out the sky.
Yeah.
And he stood there and he said, 99% of the time these crashes happen because it's people that converted from fixed wing to rotary, and in an emergency situation, they go to their fixed wing training.
Oh no!
Same as you with the brake there, because you went to the one that was, you knew. So that's good. That's a very serious issue, and one that I can relate to. But I'm glad you're okay anyway.
I've swapped them back again now. I've done from the factory. It was wrong, and they're all wrong. It's not just my unit because I asked them, But what is this stupid thing? There's a worldwide standard, right for the front brake. Yeah. But why do they? Who knows?
Well, it's the same in Ireland. Some of the switches are all upside down. Like you have to press them up to get them off and down to get them on, and it's like, come on, guys, just turn it over. I'm having all the switches in the house replaced at the moment. It's quite funny because some of them, I don't know who put them in, but I'm fixing them anyway. Look, it's been amazing speaking to you. That's the end of my hour. Anything you want to finish off and before we say goodbye?
Well, I'd like to thank you before we say goodbye. I'd like to thank you for inviting me back onto your show. I really admire your work, and I admire your motives to educate people and let people know that there are ways of getting better. There are ways of educating yourself, and your channel is amazing for that. So I'd love to thank you for.
Well, thank you very much.
Allowing it.
We do our best, and I'm just glad I found you and that we've done all these shows together. And you know, I don't know if I told you, but when I toured America last year, I probably did tell you this, but lots of people came up to me and said they got a spooky too, and this and that, you know, different, and just thanking, you know, I get the amount of people that say, you know, you say literally saved my life for this information or that information. It's a real privilege, you know, when you can do that. And
it is.
So I've introduced you to some other people, so I know that's helped, and it's just all help. Yeah. It's collaboration. You know, I know your motives are amazing, and I know your equipment's amazing. I wouldn't wear it. There's only one of your things that I've not used yet, and that's the nail cleaning laser device, which I've got still in its box.
Yeah, but you've probably got pristine nails. You probably
I have. I actually got this, I think, for my daughter because she had a bit of nail fungus on one of her toes, but it's cleared up now. But anyway, there's tons of stuff. The link's below the video, guys. Go and please share, check John's stuff out, Mirror Mate. I'll also put a link to the spooky machine and the videos. Yeah, I'll do a link to all the other videos. And if you ever want to go and find any of my back catalog, go to theMarkAttwoodShow.com, type in John White or Spooky 2 or Mirror Mate, and you'll find all the videos we've done together and get yourself caught up on this man's amazing knowledge. Thank you for coming on the show, John. Thank you to Penny for setting everything up and all that. I'd love to come to China one day and have a look at the place.
Yeah, well, we'd love to have you here.
Yeah, we'll come and make a film, shall we?
Hey, that'd be cool. We'll look after you while you're here, you know, we'll feed you and stuff.
Cool. No, I'd love that. Let's come and make a film in China next year. That'd be great. Because I've never been.
Oh, okay. Why not? I mean, you're a globetrotter, aren't you? So you've been places.
I've been around a bit, but I've never been to China because it was always locked off. You know, it's like
yeah.
Like Russia, it's one of those countries that you kind of just blocked off as you're growing up, and you know you don't think you can go there. But I would love to go. But always a pleasure speaking to you. Thanks everybody for watching. Don't forget to subscribe, like, share, and join the email list and check John's stuff out. And God bless you, and thanks for everything, John. And I'll speak to you again. And if I don't see you, I don't know if you do Christmas, but whatever, you know what I mean. Have a good time. If you are.
Of course I do. Of course, I'm a Kiwi.
Cheers, mate.
Bye-bye. Bye-bye.
Okay. See you later.